Once upon a time, in a distant land, there was a young boy named Rowan who lived in a small village nestled between towering mountains and lush forests. Rowan was known in the village for his curiosity and determination. He often spent his time pondering life's great questions, the biggest of which was, Rowan lived in a simple household with his parents and two siblings. His family worked as farmers, toiling day and night in the fields to earn a modest living. Yet, despite their hard work, they never seemed to rise above the humble life they led. Rowan admired his parents' dedication, but he wanted more out of life. He dreamed of adventure, wealth, wisdom, and influence, and he believed there was more to success than just hard labor. One day, Rowan decided to embark on a journey to find the answer to his burning question. He believed there had to be a secret, something beyond what was immediately visible. He bid farewell to his family and set out on a long and perilous journey. The first stop on Rowan's quest was a renowned monastery at the peak of a mountain. It was said that the monks there possessed ancient wisdom about the meaning of life and success. After a difficult trek, Rowan reached the monastery, exhausted but determined. The head monk, Master Li, welcomed him warmly. After resting for a few days, Rowan sat with Master Li and asked, "Master, what is the key to success in life?" Master Li smiled gently and replied, "Success begins with knowing yourself. Most people spend their entire lives chasing after external things, wealth, recognition, or status without truly understanding who they are. Until you know yourself, how can you know what success means to you?" Rowan was puzzled but intrigued. "How do I learn to know myself?" Master Li led him to the edge of a cliff where the winds were howling and the world seemed vast and limitless. He said, "Sit here and meditate. Listen to the wind, feel the earth, and observe your thoughts. In time, you will start to see patterns. You will learn what motivates you, what scares you, and what gives you peace. This is the foundation." Rowan spent weeks meditating, struggling with boredom, impatience, and frustration. But slowly, he began to understand his desires and fears more clearly. He realized that much of his yearning for success came from a fear of failure, a need to prove himself to others, and a desire for control. He also learned that deep within, he had a passion for helping others and sharing knowledge. Before leaving the monastery, Master Li told him, "True success is not in the world outside but within. Once you understand your inner purpose, you will know how to shape your outer life." Armed with this newfound self-awareness, Rowan continued his journey and eventually arrived in a bustling city. There, he met a wealthy merchant named Qadir, who was famous for his success in business. Rowan admired the merchant's wealth, his beautiful home, and the respect he commanded. Eager to learn more, Rowan approached Qadir and asked, "Sir, you have achieved great success. Can you teach me how?" Qadir laughed and said, "Success, my boy, is about opportunity and action. You can sit around thinking about your dreams all day, but nothing will happen until you take action. Every successful person I know has one thing in common: they seized opportunities when they came, even when they were uncertain." Qadir took Rowan under his wing and began teaching him the basics of business: buying, selling, negotiating, and understanding the market. He showed him how to recognize opportunities that others might overlook. One day, as they were walking through the marketplace, Qadir said, "Look closely, Rowan. See that vendor selling spices? Most people walk past, thinking nothing of it, but I see potential. Those spices are rare and valuable. If you can recognize value where others don't, you will find success." Rowan learned that part of success was having the courage to act. He saw many people in the city who had dreams, but were too afraid to take risks. They feared failure, and that fear kept them stagnant. Qadir emphasized that failure was not something to fear but to learn from. Every failure brings you closer to success, if you are willing to learn the lesson it offers, Qadir said. Rowan took this lesson to heart. He started small ventures, selling goods in the market, sometimes succeeding, sometimes failing, but always learning. As Rowan continued his journey, he realized that wealth alone wasn't the complete answer to success. There was something more. He was seeking wisdom. He had met rich merchants who were unhappy and scholars who had little material wealth but seemed content. In his search for wisdom, Rowan traveled to a distant kingdom that was home to a grand library filled with ancient texts. There, he met an elderly scholar named Talia, who spent her days studying and teaching young students. Rowan asked her, What is the relationship between wisdom and success? Talia smiled, her eyes twinkling with years of knowledge. Success without wisdom is like a ship without a compass. You may sail far, but you will always be lost. Wisdom is knowing what to pursue and what to let go. It's understanding that success in life is not about accumulating things, but about living with purpose and contributing to the greater good. Rowan began studying with Talia, learning about philosophy, history, and ethics. He realized that true success wasn't about wealth or fame, but about using one's talents and resources for a meaningful purpose. Talia often quoted an old saying, "Success is not measured by what you achieve, but by how much you give." Rowan started to see success differently. It was about balancing ambition with contentment, action with reflection, and personal achievement with helping others. Years passed, and Rowan decided it was time to return to his village. He had grown from a curious young man into a wise and experienced individual. Along his journey, he had discovered many different pieces of the puzzle of success. When he arrived home, his family and neighbors welcomed him warmly. His village had not changed much, but Rowan had. He began sharing the lessons he had learned with the people in his village. He taught them that success starts with knowing oneself, understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and passions. He shared the importance of taking action and seizing opportunities, even when the path was uncertain. And he emphasized that wisdom and purpose were the true markers of a successful life, not just material wealth or status. Under his guidance, the village began to thrive. People became more courageous, more thoughtful, and more willing to help one another. They pursued their dreams, learned from their failures, and lived with greater purpose. Rowan had discovered that the secret to success wasn't one single thing but a combination of self-awareness, courage, perseverance, wisdom, and service to others. He understood now that true success in life wasn't about achieving greatness for oneself, but about uplifting those around you and living in harmony with your purpose. In the end, Rowan realized that success wasn't a destination to be reached but a journey to be lived every day, with intention, gratitude,